Hi, this is Lee Castle from Time to Speak, and right now it's time to hope. We're going to look at some of the words and ideas around the word hope as we see it in Hebrew, biblical Hebrew, because there's not just one word, it's not just a simple two-dimensional idea. Hope is a choice, a lifestyle. We can choose to live a life full of hope or a life that has no hope. One of the things that we will look at are different verbs and ideas and images, word pictures, which help me to understand. I think of hope like a parcel. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to have a look at some of the goodies inside. So there is a verb called hakar, which means to wait. It's not used a whole lot in the Old Testament, which of course always makes you think, I wonder why it was chosen in these places. So Psalm 33 verses 18 to 20 very clearly show the connection between waiting and hoping. But the eyes of the Lord are on those who fear him, on those whose hope is in his unfailing love, to deliver them from death and keep them alive in famine. We wait in hope for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. Perhaps another more surprising use of hakar is in Isaiah 30, verse 18. Yet the Lord longs to be gracious to you, therefore he will rise up to show you compassion. For the Lord is a God of justice. Blessed are all who wait for him. So that's from the NIV, translation into English. And where it speaks of the Lord longing to be gracious, it's him waiting. It is that verb hakar. He waits to be gracious. He waits to be able to show us compassion. He is waiting for us to be waiting for him. And I really love that connection. And I think that's a fantastic view of God's patience and love. There's another word, batak, to trust. And of course, trust, we all trust in something, whether or not it's a valuable, worthwhile thing. And I think at the moment our world is asking, what can we trust? What does last? What will last? What can we trust? The Old Testament, particularly the Psalms and Proverbs, will keep asking us, what do you trust in? Do you trust in youth? Do you trust in your family or your wealth, your intellect? Do you trust on how many likes you have on social media? No, that's not in the Bible. What do you trust in? Trust in God. Trust in God. He is rock solid. Now we come to my favourite goodie in the hope parcel, and this is a verb chavar. Now it contains a lot of depth and it has historical roots. It originated, they think, from a primitive verb which meant to twist fibres and to make rope. And of course, when you twist the fibres to make a rope, it creates a tension. And you know when you create a tension, something will happen as a reaction to that action. So out of it comes a waiting, a trusting, expectation, but also binding together, gathering, collecting. One of the forms of chavar is mikvah, which means gathering, to gather. Now we see it in Genesis chapter 1 verse 10, where God actually gathers the waters into the sea. So that is mikvah, gathering. We see it again in Jeremiah in the gathering of God's people. There is another form of the verb kavar, and that is tikvah. Now tikvah means to hope, but it also means rope or cord. I love it. I just love it because it is literally a tangible image of something that connects me to hope. When we think of rope, we usually think of it being tied to something, and certainly in the New Testament we get that image of hope is our anchor. So a rope is usually tied to something that anchors us, in this case into God. But rope itself, we usually imagine ourselves hanging onto the rope, don't we? Now, of course, that's a fabulous image, except the danger is we could let go. We could actually be dangling off that hope and then suddenly not holding on to it anymore. That's not the Christian life, and that's not Christian hope. I like to think of us being gathered up and bound up in Jesus, and as such, we are in that rope. We're integral. We're one of the strands in the rope. We don't make hope possible, but hope cannot let us down. God, hope in God, cannot let go of us, and we cannot let go of it if we trust in Him. So there is enormous strength and confidence in the hope in the Bible. There's nothing wishy-washy about it. There's nothing that can change today or tomorrow depending on circumstances. It's done. Jesus did it. God has done absolutely everything that needed to be done for us to have a sure hope in Him. Have you wondered perhaps where is there a tikvah, a use in the Bible? Well, one of my favourite places is in Joshua chapter 2 in the story of Rahab and the spies, where she literally allows the spies to escape to freedom by hanging tikvah out her window, a rope or a cord, and they use it to climb down to go. And then they will come back and they will destroy everybody who is not inside Rahab's house. And the sign will be a scarlet cord or a rope, a tikvah, hanging out her window. So there you have a really clear, tangible image of someone trusting in God, understanding who God is, and waiting on Him for her hope. Anyway, there you go. That's hope. Think of it as a lovely, exciting parcel tied up with rope.